Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Curtains Up, where we pull back the velvet curtain and step into the magic of live theater, one story, one artist, and one cue at a time. Today's episode is all about the power of sound, how it deepens drama, builds worlds, and moves audiences in ways that they may not even realize. And to help us explore this incredible craft, we're joined by sound designer whose work has helped shape high school productions and unforgettable theatrical experiences. Please welcome Riley to the podcast. Riley, we're so excited to have you with us.
Happy to be here, Rohan. Happy to be here.
Before we dive in, I'd love to start with your story. What first drew you into the world of sound design and how did your journey begin?
So, in all honesty, I was an actor before I was in the booth. Being an actor, it helps you understand the sound field a bit better than if you were just going right into it. My breakout role was actually in The Sound of Music. I was Admiral von Schreiber, and I didn't have a mic for screaming parts, which not fun. So what I did, I was just working, I was talking, screwing around with some random sound effects, and my mentor, who ended up training me to be the sound designer I am, she's like, "Yo, I need someone to replace me. I'm a rising senior. You actually enjoy this. Come on, please help me." And that she drew me in with that. I fell in love with it immediately.
Okay. Yeah, no, that sounds something similar to like in my high school. It's just like in general, seniors are always one of like the
Mm,
best motivations to help you encourage you into a new role that you don't think you might have experience with, but then you fall in love with it anyways. I
yeah,
personally have experience with it, and I'm sure many other people have experience with it.
without a doubt.
And then what kind of training or experiences helped shape your approach to sound design?
So training, it wasn't so much training. She just showed me how to use the software. The experience is what really changed my approach. It kind of shaped how I do things. My first show that I tacked, it was the Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime. Great
Hmm.
show, loved it. My mentor actually had to drop a week before Tech Week due to personal reasons, leaving me alone with someone who I hadn't worked with in regards to lighting. So she let me design one of the light cues too, because she wanted to train me in both, but sounds where I fell in love. Anyway, it was just Tech Week. It was obviously it's called Hell Week for a reason, but
Yeah.
it's even worse because she wasn't there. It wasn't like I had guidance. I was doing this going in blindfolded, head
Yeah, you're
first.
thrown into the deep end, right?
Mhm. But then that kind of showed me everyone's experiences are different. Everyone needs a little sympathy. Everyone needs a little empathy sometimes. And that's what I felt kind of, pushed me to keep doing this. Every person who's been in the booth with me knows that I'm going to work my very hardest and I will do my very best to make sure it's a comfortable and easy experience for them.
Yeah, no, like Tech Week is always, I think Tech Week's one of the best learning experiences you can have because it forces you to learn fast. Because like you
Exactly.
only have like 4 days to get everything right before show. Well, 3 days actually, because the fourth day is the show most of the time.
We go in on Saturdays and then we start
Oh,
our rehearsals
yeah.
that
For
night.
us, it's Monday, Thursday, Wednesday, with Wednesday being a teacher preview, and then Thursday is the show.
Mm, I gotcha. I gotcha.
Yeah. And then you're thespian, right? Have you won any awards for your sound designing?
Not sound specifically. So I went to the state thespian festival this January for my state.
I was there too.
Oh, I didn't go to ITF. I went to the Fest for my state.
Yeah.
Um, it was the LA Fest, Louisiana Thespian Festival. I participated in the sound design thespi and I created some cues for a show named Puffs, or 73
Oh, I
Senior
love
Years
puffs.
in a Certain
Yeah.
School of Magic and Magic. That was my first show that I actually worked. It was spotlights, but I loved it.
Yeah,
So I got
Puffs is such
into
an awesome show.
I got I got a I think it was the second highest rating I could.
Excellent.
I didn't know. Yeah, I got excellent. I did
Yeah.
not qualify for superior yet. Um, And I actually participated in a college audition because I'm trying to get my name out there. I'm trying to get all the things I can.
Yeah, no, that sounds awesome, and I hope you do well because I think you have a chance. Like,
I
a real shot at making it big here. Um, and then how do you collaborate with the director and other designers, like lighting and set designers, to make sure you each work with each other to have like the same vision and you don't work like against each other?
so my let me start with this. My path does not cross the set designers ever.
Oh, okay.
Like she will occasionally reach out. She's like, "Hey, I need a sound effect of something falling." I'll be like, "What's falling?" Wood. That does not answer my question. I need more than that. But no, our paths won't cross until she's like, "Hey, I need something from you." Lighting designer, my partner in crime. We collaborate more than anyone else in this. My lighting designer's actually been with me since this last production I worked, which was This Murder Was Staged. It's a comedy. It's great. It's kind of like the play that goes wrong if it were just all about murder.
I haven't seen that one. I gotta check it out.
It's really good. It's great. I love it. Anyway, it was a great show, but the lighting designer works alongside me. We collaborate. We see, hey, what's the mood of the scene? What are my plans? What are your plans? We'll go together from there. The director kind of just gives me the notes of what she wants, and I'll send her my drafts after I'm done working with them. She'll give me her feedback, send them back to me. I'll repeat the process till she's satisfied. Last person I actually work with are the spotlights, which I call the show usually because stage manager's not allowed in the booth, and I work with the stage manager. I have a headset connecting me to the backstage so I can, you know, lights up, lights down, all that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And then like I remember I recall seeing in my shows that yeah, I'll have like that stage manager wearing a headset and calling all these cues. I don't think I've ever like before starting the series where like I talk about the heroes behind backstage. I don't think I've ever really like fully appreciated the scope of how much everybody does everything. So it's just like this is just like a really like eye-opening experience. Just talk to so many people who who know what happens backstage more intimately than anyone else.
I respect every single stage manager, every single person, every single costumer, anyone who works backstage, anyone who has that know-how, has that level of organizational skills, that level of dedication. They have my eternal respect.
Seriously, they're so and they're also just good at it. You know, like in it, even if something goes wrong, they'll still find a solution in like 3 seconds or something.
Hmm.
It's just so
They
impressive.
have to.
And then, how do you use sound to influence audience emotion or like support a character's journey?
So this delves more into my process. I have to think more like, okay, is it appropriate for a sound to exist in this moment? Does that make sense? Like, I have to be like, oh, is it appropriate for a sound to be here? What kind of sound would be here? For example, if it's like a funeral scene, I'm not gonna put like a choir singing "Go Make a Difference."
Yeah.
I'm gonna put probably a more somber organ with maybe a choral background, and it's not gonna be high in volume either. It's gonna be lower in volume, so it's more of a background thing while giving all
Yeah.
the
So that,
actors.
and then like it'll also give it more of an impact.
Hmm.
And then how do you balance live effects, pre-recorded sound, and then music? Because you work in musicals as well, right?
I do, I do.
Yeah.
So musicals, the shows that we do, there we have actually a music director. We're very lucky to have our choir and band director just run the music for our shows. The actual sound is all me still, but basically what I still do is I will just keep my normal process going. I don't usually use live sound effects in the sense that I will play something over a mic or anything like that, or have any sound effects made live. I use pre-recorded sound effects either designed by me or specific ones from websites that they're meant for this thing. There's like, hey, royalty-free sounds.
Yeah, yeah.
Just
I
it's
use royalty free all the time.
it's a good tool. You shouldn't overly rely on it though, because that kind of takes away from your own skill.
Yeah. And then I guess this adds on to the next question. What software and equipment do you typically work with in sound design?
So, what I use normally for actually running the sound during productions, I use QLab. It's the most efficient thing out there for me anyway. I've tried a couple other things. QLab's always worked best. For actually recording the stuff, I'll use some mobile apps. You can really use anything to record it, so long as you have a mic and anything else that could be relevant. So I will use recording apps. I'll use some online softwares for my actual editing of the sounds. I use Audacity
Okay. Yeah. That I is QLab a like software or is that like the actual physical thing?
software.
Okay.
It's something that's available on all Mac. So
Okay. Okay.
it's a
Got it.
Mac. It's a the Mac thing only. So if you have HP, you're kind of out of luck. But QLab.
Okay. There should be something on HP though, right?
No, there's going to be something on HP that you're going to
Yeah.
find something one way or another.
And then what's been your most challenging sound cue so far, or show so far, and how did you pull it off?
So, like I said, I'm not going to use this as an example again, but Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime, that was my breakout sound designing show. My mentor kind of dropped the week before. Like I said, personal reasons. I
Yeah.
still respect her immensely. I, she had 700 sound cues for puffs that she made herself. I can't do that. I'm not that good. But my I'd say the hardest experience with a cue, it wasn't really designing it. This murder was staged. I'm going back to that one. The cast was really snippy. They really didn't like one of the cues that I designed. The director asked me, she's like, "Hey, Riley, I need a siren cue at the end. I like the idea of it, blah blah blah." Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
the cast got really snippy. They were yelling at me, a lot of explicitives, and they were yelling at me from the dressing room down the hall. Just they weren't happy with me. It got to the point where I almost quit permanently, and that would not have been a good thing because I truly love this, but when people do that, kind of makes it so you don't want to do the thing anymore. They actually went as far as to try and peer pressure me by asking the director, like during notes, they interrupted the director. Um, she was not happy. She yelled at all of them.
Yeah. No, negative feedback is some of the worst things you can experience in theater because if
It
you
was
get
less.
too much of it.
It was less negative feedback though, and more heavy criticism that wasn't positive in any way. It was like,
Sorry, what I meant by negative feedback is just
I
like
got
negative experiences coming
you.
from all
No,
directions.
I
Yeah.
got you.
Yeah. No. That sucks, man. I'm really sorry about that.
Wouldn't be where I am today without it.
That's fair. And I guess this goes on the next vein. What advice would you give to high school students that are interested in sound design?
First of all, say goodbye to your social life. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But you need to be really dedicated to do what I do. I've during like the weeks leading up to a show, I don't get a ton of sleep. Granted, I don't get a ton of sleep regardless, but that's besides the point. What I do, not everyone can do it. Like everyone can. Oh, that's like, oh, everyone can slice together a sound. That's no issue. You can't. You can't time it like I can. You can't design it. It's a lot more than just hitting play on my mouse button. Like there's real work that goes into it. So what I would say, just in general, don't give in. Don't give in to the advice because a lot of the time the advice you're being given by actors, stage crew even, they don't know what they're talking about. They don't. I've been given so many things by stage managers. They don't know what goes into my line of work. They respect me because I know my worth. I know my value. I know the exact type of thing that I can manage while still maintaining semblance of sanity, and even into the insanity I can keep going. It's You need to be dedicated. You need to be a hard worker. You need to know what you're doing. You can always learn. Practice makes perfect. You can get better.
Yeah, no, seriously, that does that makes a lot of sense, especially the dedication part, because theater is so demanding. Like
Hmm.
I try to have other extracurriculars going on the side, but it's almost impossible to do them at the same time because of the time commitment that drama requires. And I'm just an actor, so I can't even imagine how all the managers behind the stage feel like. That's yeah, it's got to be like a lot of work.
It's a whole nother ball game. For example, I love you actors. I know what y'all go through. I know what you do because I was an actor myself. I've gone through it time and time again. But it's a special kind of thrill hearing your work, hearing just everything. People are like, "Wait, what is that? Who designed that?" It's a special kind of rewarding.
And you also get to watch the show, so that's also an added benefit.
You're not really watching. You're more watching your script, checking your
Oh
notes.
yeah.
I've I think I've watched a show once, and it was during our tech day, and that was when the cast really didn't like me.
Oh.
I don't care if they don't like me. It's not going to change my
That's
opinions.
true. And then for our final question, what's one thing you wish more people understood about the role of sound in storytelling?
Sound can make or break a mood, make or break a scene. Sound, it's like if you have poor sound, there's so many things that could go wrong. There's so many things that could change. There's a million different options for what can be done. I've seen a show go entirely wrong because sound wasn't properly implemented. I saw a production of Into the Woods a while back. It was my friend was in a different production of Into the Woods, but I've seen a different production of Into the Woods since then. Basically, they just didn't. They only used the music, the bare minimum music for the show.
It's Stephen
Yeah,
Sondheim. How can you
yeah,
use the bare minimum?
you can't. You can't. For a show, you need sound effects. Like music, it's great, don't get me wrong. You need actual sound effects. You need things to change it. You need it makes or breaks a mood.
Yeah, no,
It's
we're at the theater I'm working at, or sorry, not working at, but at the school I'm in, our theater is doing Into the Woods, and I just cannot imagine Into the Woods without that much sound and music, because you're going into the woods, you're going into enchanted woods where a bunch of story tales are happening, a bunch of different things are going on all at once. You need sound to sort of signify which one you should look at first. So not having sound and having the bare minimum just sounds kind of crazy.
and it goes hand in hand with lighting too. Like I've said before, my job goes hand in hand with the lighting. My partner in crime, they're in the booth with me. Their name is Dre. They've never steered me wrong.
Yep.
It's anytime I'm confused about something, they'll be like, "Hey, let me read that over. Oh, that sound. I think we could change it a little bit, just a tiny little tweak." I tweak it, sounds infinitely better. I could not do it without Dre.
Yep, and I think that answers all my questions. Thank you so much, Riley, for joining us and sharing your experience in the arts and the heart of sound design. From ambient layers to emotional beats, you've truly helped us hear theater in a whole new way.
Absolutely. Thank you, Rohan. Thank you for having me.
Of course, it was a pleasure to have you.
Same to you.